We have two big consumer fraud stories breaking today. The two scams are very different. We begin with identity theft that could impact your tax return. At issue, crooks who are stealing identities elsewhere and then filing tax forms hoping to score a big refund, possibly your refund. Intuit, the owner of TurboTax, announcing just hours ago that the company is working with various state governments after thousands of fake tax filings have surfaced. With more on this, financial planner, radio host, and author of Your Money, Your Life, Peter Dunn. Peter, welcome to the show. So how widespread is this, do you think?
It's going to get worse, Gerri. Here's the concern right now. In Alabama alone, they're afraid that there's 16,000 fraudulent e-filed returns. Minnesota has shut down all e-filed returns. And the real concern here is people go to protect their credit every day with identity theft issues. Maybe we're missing the back door here, which is actually our tax refunds and our tax filing.
I have to tell you, TurboTax, the users of TurboTax file about 30 million tax filings every year. It is the big kahuna when it comes to this business. And we heard from H&R Block today saying, hey, we're having no problems at all. Come on over. We'll file your forms for you. Which leads me to this question. Is Intuit culpable in this? Is it something about TurboTax that is making this happen?
I don't know the answer to that, but I'll tell you this. The general idea that a social security number, date of birth, your address, and a name could make any e-filing program susceptible to these sort of risks.
That's totally true.
What we're going to see here is, the big kid on the block, Intuit, is pulling it. I mean, they're just saying, we're not doing e-filing for states because we don't want the risk. I just think the criminals are go to the next person on the block or maybe the further down the food chain, and you're still going to see a rampant tax fraud this year. And, cases like this, Anthem, 80 million people.
All right, we're going to get to that in a moment. But let me show you the TurboTax issue here and where the problems seem to be centered at this moment. Alabama, as you said, 16,000 returns suspected. Utah, they have just 28 fraudulent filings, and the specific software, they're not identified. Minnesota, about 2,000 returns. Georgia has significant numbers. So clearly, tens of thousands of refunds here up in the air, in limbo. Peter, what do you tell people tonight who maybe they've already filed and they're wondering if they're going to get their refund?
Yeah, I think once you've filed and from an e-file perspective, your application or your filing has been accepted, you're in the clear. It's those people that haven't filed, even that haven't filed whether they're e-filing or not, that are in trouble, because as soon as your filing happens with your Social Security number, whoever files after that, even if it's the real you, is locked out.
Okay, well, I think we should underscore that just a little bit, because think about it. You may be waiting to file. You haven't filed yet. You're planning to file. And after you do, you may get the big no from the IRS. They may say, actually, it's not the IRS. It's state filings only. You may find out that somebody's gotten your refund. Is there any recourse for taxpayers?
I think eventually they will be, but there will be absolute gridlock at the state level. So I don't like to create urgency when there isn't any, but I'll tell you, don't wait to file your taxes if this concerns you. This isn't regular identity theft. It's kind of the first person in line is going to be able to file.
Peter, thanks for coming on the show. Great to have you here.
My pleasure.